So if you see your sight glass manifold air bubbles that are going through there, and if your pump is just surging, your flow meter might say no gallons or very low gallons, and then overshooting your target rate, and it just keeps going back and forth. You keep seeing air bubbles shooting out at the rows. You keep seeing air bubbles go through the manifold, and you're well past priming where the air should be out already, but you keep pulling in air. You have an air leak somewhere on your inlet side. So you can check your filter. There's an O-ring that's usually on that cup. Make sure that O-ring isn't damaged or missing or cut. That's a common thing we'll see. Maybe a guy puts the filter in crooked or wrong, pinches the O-ring. They don't notice it until they take it apart and look at it. It could be that. It could be a cracked fitting. Just because you have a crack on the inlet side does not mean that fertilizer will always leak out of that fitting. Usually I don't see fertilizer leak out, especially if it's a thicker fertilizer. Maybe water would leak, maybe. But with a fertilizer, sometimes because it's thicker, it doesn't always leak. Maybe it's small enough it doesn't leak, but air will definitely get through that small crack. Something to keep in mind as you're trying to find this air leak. Another thing that can happen, well, no matter what, if you're pulling in air, air's not coming from nowhere. It's coming from somewhere. So if there's not liquid there, something has to take the place of the liquid. It's got to be air. So air is coming in somewhere. If it's continuously going through your sight glass manifold, you have an air leak somewhere on the inlet side. Another thing it could be is, say like on a hydraulic pump, it could be a flange fitting. Maybe you took a flange fitting off, you put it on, you pinch the flange there. I've done that before myself. And then air starts leaking in through the pump system. So it's something else to keep an eye on as well. Sometimes on these fittings here, maybe your system wasn't winterized properly. Maybe a fitting here is cracked, like on the molding on the seam. There's an O-ring that's here as well. Maybe that O-ring is damaged. So other things to look for as well. If you're pulling in air, if you have a lot of air bubbles through the system, it's coming somewhere. Something has to take the place of that liquid, so air is coming in somewhere. Either if it's from the tank, if it's some poly fitting, it's got to be coming in somewhere. Looking at the electric setup, same scenario. Maybe it's an O-ring on one of the fork fittings, a cracked filter, maybe it's an O-ring that's on there. It's the same kind of setup. So if you've been running the pump for several minutes and air is still going through the system, you gotta check for some kind of crack or some sort of leak.